A fair Scotland for women. I mean, that just sounds like it would be under the rails of an oxymoron, surely. A fair Scotland for one demographic. AKA, you're yet again pushing them forward, even further forward than you already have with your multiple feminist organisations that we all kindly pay for already to benefit women. Every aspect of their fucking life. Every aspect of society bends over and panders to women now because you've made it so, Sturgeon, but of course they're still unequal. At what point does it become obvious that this has nothing to do with equality anymore? Can't keep using equality as your excuse. Fucking hell. So of course we come down. Sturgeon stated upon her appointment her hope that it would open the gate to greater opportunity for all women and send a strong and positive message to girls and young women. Indeed, to all women across our land, there should be no limit to your ambition for what you can achieve. That's why we're rolling out quota systems, just to make sure that you get exactly where you need to be in life. Because if it wasn't for my miraculous intervention with my venomous lefty progressive bullshit that I need to spray wherever I go, you would still be suffering so badly from all of the men in society, the misogyny and sexism. I mean, what planet is this woman on? She's either paid to spew this shit out and she doesn't actually believe it, or she really is a radical feminist at this point, where she thinks she is so up her own arse. She thinks that she's come into the picture and after 5 years she's miraculously managed to change the lives of every girl, teenager and woman in Scotland because they are all crying out for a martyr like Sturgeon. Pull the other one. The days for preaching about gender inequality are about 100 years too fucking late, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, women, girls, and here we go again. Of course, they now need to update the curriculum for excellence. A significant emphasis needs to be placed on developing young people's confidence and aspirations, because now all of a sudden schools are no longer a place where you go to learn, but instead a place where you go to find yourself. I mean, isn't it funny how since the SNP took over the education in Scotland, we went from having one of the world's best education systems to a fucking failing, shambolic laughingstock. These implementations, these constant obsessions with their interfering, and for what? To proudly announce to the world that we're progressive and inclusive. In relation to the cause of the gender pay gap, the pay gap, oh yes. Schools have a key role to play in further progress to make in helping young women make transitions to a broader range of more successful careers. Exactly what I said at the beginning of this video. So they're going to all the positive things that they see that society kind of stereotyped for the boys to do. Girls are going to take that now. Boys, some can do that, but just to make sure that enough girls can jump on this bandwagon, we're going to have to switch the roles around somewhat. While there are already some differences between girls and boys' ambitions in primary school, these clearly widen in secondary and beyond, as evidenced by the different subjects chosen that girls and boys make. And of course, the whole premise for being a feminist, clearly this goes completely against what I would have thought a feminist entailed. You're now wanting to interfere and coerce girls into certain subject fields because you see the fact that women and girls picking off their own accord subjects that they wish to do. That can't be because they picked that choice independently. Oh no. That's society's fault. That's the stereotypes. Oh, it must be the big bad teacher telling little Rachel that she's only good for the kitchen, or she might, if she's lucky, be a barber, but yet turn around and said to little Daniel that he has the brains to be a STEM expert. At the end of the day, nothing stops kids from going to any subject that they wish to do. They don't need interference from fucking feminist helmet head, but of course it's all about progression. It's pathetic. Anyway, I mean, labelling yourself as a feminist, an organisation or a group of women that used to fight the good fight for true inequalities that women faced, and you masquerade as somebody from those times, and your only example that you can give to people to prove that you're still required as a movement is things along the lines of a gender imbalance. Oh, that's really a problem. A gender imbalance. That is your justification for a relentless, never-ending infestation of feminist bullshit. And here we go again. Sturgeon must be loving it when she's typing this shit out. outlined in the equally safe delivery plan. I mean, how many of these plans and how to you guys do they need? But of course, it's never ending, and the convenient studies justify the shit. And it says here that girls can be marginalised at crucial stages by sexist behaviours. Oh yes. Yeah, those menacing primary school boys really can be sexual pests. They're all a bunch of misogynists. Yes, that's right. Since when was that an issue? Since when were these so-called problems, in fact, anything other than a figment of Sturgeon's head? Awareness amongst teachers and senior managers of unconscious bias, including gender bias, and how it manifests itself within their activities, and what steps need to be taken to promote gender fucking balance. Because that is true progression. This is nothing, I mean, this is shades of fucking modern day communism, like, oh my god. Telling you what to think, telling you what to do with your life, constantly interfering. Greater awareness of gender issues amongst learners, with this feeding into students talking about gender issues more often. For example, a number of teachers highlighted that students are more likely to confront bias, stereotyping, or throwaway remarks than in the past. That's good for them. As a result of the successful evaluation of the pilot, part of STEM strategy, a new team of 6 gender balance and equality officers, oh my god, has been recruited by Education Scotland. And of course, what are they going to do? They're going to deliver gender and equality training to schools and teachers and develop a gender champion network, just like they've got for the LGBT. The school that can promote the most gay philosophy will get an award. And here we go again. The school that can pander the most to the phenomenon of gender inequality will get their own fucking award. It will deliver. So the work will be undertaken in collaboration with the improvement collaboration along with the new Education Scotland STEM regional advisors who have recently been appointed. This forms part of our 5-year STEM education and training strategy, and the team will support and encourage early learning and childcare settings in schools to adopt holistic whole school approaches that seek to tackle gender balance and make sure as many women get into these fields as possible. In fact, the boys and men. I could go on, but this video is getting ridiculously too long. And I mean, this one-sided favouritism that's at play here can no longer, in my opinion, be used as an excuse to combat and level the playing field, combat the gender imbalances that plague our society. Look no further than the hearsay from feminists for your fucking proof. Younger girls being aware of misogyny is a huge step in eliminating sexism. Where was I? With a great percentage of girls recognising the negative repercussions of stereotyping and traditional views of gender. Right then. God forbid a woman might want to childbear, because the day that they convinced women that having a child was a punishment and not a sacrifice was the day it all started to go down fucking hill. You could have rolled back some of what you're pushing, but instead you've made the sole focus, the main priority, employment. It's the number one priority in the mindset of a woman now, and of course that is a good thing for anybody that seems to resent traditionalism. But for a country that's supposed to got an ageing population, one does have to wonder, what's going through your fucking head there? And lastly, I'll leave on this because this video is starting to get ridiculously too long. And there's so much that I could talk on this, but I mean, it's just gaff. All these conclusions that they've dredged up that have bit on the back of irrelevant points for the most part. Of course, it says here, while there are doing some differences between girls and boys, ambitions in primary school, these clearly widen in secondary school and beyond, as evidenced by the different subject choices that girls and boys make in school. And of course, that's even further reinforced when you take a look at the Nordic countries. Why don't you take a look up there, Sturgeon, and see that your genderless progressive utopia has been tried and it blatantly didn't work out the way they thought it would. But of course, Sturgeon's going to do it different because she's going to interfere at every given notice. It's all about progression here. Rainbow Unicorn Land. It's pathetic, for lack of better words. For example, persistent gender imbalances. Oh, the gender imbalances that really are a problem for nobody bar radical feminists. And it's not a gender imbalance when we talk about bin men and street sweepers. Oh no, it's just a gender imbalance in the top-notch jobs, the top-notch professions, because it really is just about closing that pay gap. And what better way to do that than to get girls earning more coin, eh? So it goes on to say, imbalances remain in the STEM subjects taken in the senior phase, despite female attainment being higher than male. Oh dear. Science, technology, engineering and mathematics qualifications include physics, computing and the technologies. There's also longitudinal evidence of gender imbalance in national qualifications in health and well-being subject areas. Of course, this obviously means somehow that a wider society and culture have a significant role to play. Together we are working to break down barriers and advance equality for all. The invisible barriers, oh yes, the barriers that don't exist, the barriers that are just mere excuses for why certain people can't get jobs. It's somewhat reaffirms the victimhood narrative that they want everybody that's a minority to get well on board with. So of course, International Women's Day, don't you forget it, yes. And of course, Scotland being named the best country in the UK for gender equality and we're not talking about gender equality of old where, women were spoken down to or forced to work in the kitchen. Or no, we're talking about representation. That's really all there is to it at this point. But of course, this is modern day feminism. They have to justify their existence somehow. So, the SNP will continue to do nothing substantial in terms of productive. No, just continue down the UN's how-to guide list to achieve some fairy tale variation of gender equality. At every turn, working to end austerity, for equal pay, and to end the barriers that still block the aspirations for too many women in Scotland and across the UK. Oh yes, because all those barriers that prevent girls getting into certain jobs. I wonder how many men experience these same invisible barriers. But of course, we can't talk about them. It's all about gender equality. And the only way to achieve gender equality is, of course, to talk to no end about the plight of the girl and never mention the boy whatsoever. It's very equal, is it? It's one-sided. So anyway, today we have published our Gender Pay Gap Action Plan, the first for Scotland and any UK administration. This plan will help the Scottish Government meet its commitment of reducing gender pay gap by 2021. There are over 50 actions, including investing an extra $5 million over the next 3 years to support around 2,000 women to return to work, improving workplace practices including support for women during menopause and for victims of domestic abuse, for the expansion of the Workplace Equality Fund, equality, inclusion, these buzzwords that they love to throw about, delivering a new career strategy to provide advice and accessible guidance which will help to challenge stereotypes. We'll come back to that. Refreshing the gender and diversity element of the Scottish Business Pledge. Is that so? The Scottish Government will also show leadership as an employer by undertaking a Scottish Government equal pay audit and researching the ways businesses can reduce the gender pay gaps. Of course, the gender pay gaps that they're talking to is overall, on average, men being paid more than women because men are doing different jobs to that of women. So they don't like that. So they've got a few options, of course. They could either raise the pay in fields dominated by women predominantly, or they could start to infiltrate the education system of the children, which of course, that seems to be what's right out of the playbook for far lefties. Historically it is, and of course this is no different. What point does it stop becoming about promoting fairness and equality and all about further empowering girls? Because at the end of the day, that's the true agenda of radical feminists. I'm struggling to see you as anything different, Sturgeon, if I'm honest. You fit the bill quite nicely. Peace.